Welcome to a brand new podcast. Welcome, and this is the Oracle 19 podcast, and my name is Greatness. Music is by Cheap Limousine. You can find him on YouTube and other social media platforms. Again, it's Cheap Limousine, and again, you can find him on YouTube, wide range of different beats. You definitely will enjoy, so check him out. And from there you will see his other social media sites that you can go on as well. Again, all of the information that I'm going to repeat to y'all guys weekly is in the description box. Thank you guys for your continued support, and please continue supporting the machine. It's very important. We're spreading this all over the land, worldwide, if we can. And like, subscribe, and share. And definitely, once again, I thank y'all guys. I can't say that enough. You're always going to have haters, and it's okay. But the positive people, like, share, subscribe, and also check out the YouTube channel, Greatness 19. And that's on YouTube, Greatness 19. Wide range of videos to help educate and open the third eye. And we have our second YouTube channel up and running, which is, you can check us out, Mr. Evolution of London. And that's our health and wellness channel. We already have videos already started up. So Mr. Evolution of London channel on YouTube, and like and subscribe to that channel. And different topics on health and wellness, things that you should have in your cabinet for your own health and wellness. So again, check us out there. And eventually we're gonna have our Patreon channel. I can get it done very quickly. I know, but again, I'm taking my time with that. I'm gonna have certain videos posted on my Patreon channel, so I will keep y'all guys posted. You can shop online to our baby shopping mall, evolutionoflondon.com. Once again, evolutionoflondon.com, our baby shopping mall, so you definitely could check us out. A wide range of products, perfume, cologne, tools, furniture, clothing, men's, ladies, babies' clothing, and jewelry, much more. So definitely check us out at evolutionoflondon.com. And also our other website, evolutionoflondon.org, O-R-G. Once again, evolutionoflondon.org, O-R-G. There you'll find our latest digital products, custom clothing and accessories. We usually have new stuff on a weekly basis, so check us out there and pass the word. And again, all of this information is in our description box. Now, this podcast, the Oracle 19 podcast, you can find us on Anchor.fm, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts as well, iTunes, Spotify, and all the rest of the major platforms. we're spreading, and we're spreading pretty fast, actually. Now, throughout North America, and we're in the UK, India, Germany, just to name a few. So we spreading, and let's keep that energy going. And again, also our sponsor. Check out Mr. Will, and for a fitness consultation. If you need any fitness consultation, you check him, email him. WilliesFitness99@gmail.com. Once again, it's Willies, WILLYZ, fitness99@gmail.com. And he sells merchandise as well, fitness merchandise, etc., which is www.jaaccessories.com. Once again, that's www.wjaaccessories, one word, .com. And again, you'll find his information in the description box as well. Any donations, like I said, you definitely support the machine. You can do our PayPal account. That's evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. Once again, evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. You can send your free will offering, and also in our description box we do have a GoFundMe as well. Because, we want to add on more better equipment and software and grow. So we would like your support as well. And again, I think I covered most of everything. Anything else that I missed, you can always put in. You will find it in the description box. And again, donations. Do this if you want to donate to this podcast specifically. You can go on the major platforms from Anchor.fm and Google Podcasts, Apple, iTunes, and you can make a donation there as well. So just to give you a little heads up. All right, so now we got the business aspects out the way. Today we're going to talk about something that I talked about in the past. This is a part 2. The fall of America. And again, you could check out the part 1 that I posted a couple months back on the fall of America, my perspective. Again, this is the part 2, and I want to really talk about, the post-pandemic and really what's happening, as well as globally. And just in case y'all guys don't really see it, but you could kind of see, if you really pay attention, the fall of America. It's definitely not the same, and you can see it's getting even worse. And people might ask, well, okay, greatness, why would you say something like that? It seems that some people feel that we will rise and get back up to speed. Sorry, my friend, but not for you. It's over as far as the U.S. is concerned. And you can see it with other countries and the respect that they have. Slowly but surely, countries is getting themselves together and not relying on the United States like they used to be. I'll give you an example. Russia. Now, years ago, the United States, before I get to Russia, the United States dollar basically, and it still is considered one of the top choices in the world as far as currency. Years ago, it was the standard, the number one standard of the world, hands down. Now you have countries such as Russia, They making moves. They using their euro dollars more to do trade. So again, I can get more in depth in how Russia's making their moves, separating their currency, their economy from the U.S. You can Google that, but my target country that I'm really thinking about is China. You know, China right now is buying oil from Saudi Arabia with their own currency. In case y'all guys really didn't pay attention to the world news. You know, years ago, when you're buying oil from Saudi Arabia, you're using the U.S. currency. Countries are still using the U.S. currency because it was the standard. But pay attention to how China is moving. They made a deal with Saudi Arabia and they're using their currency. That's a shift within the world economy automatically. And China also have their own digital currency. Their digital currency, is now the first in the world. And that's going toe to toe with the United States and their economy. Signs of the fall of America. Now again, I'm just giving you a little taste of information. You can Google it and then you can research it yourself and come to your conclusion. You will see the information I'm talking about is correct. See, people think that the United States is really the powerhouse, the number one of the world. And in theory, it's China. China have just as much nuclear weapons than the United States. China have more soldiers than the United States. China have just as much or even more technology than the United States. We're not talking about the shadow government of the United States. We're just talking about the regular United States. I'm not going to talk about the shadow government of the United States. That's two different entities. They got technology far greater than the regular Chinese government, but we won't get too heavy on that one. That one you will have to check that out for yourself. I might get shadow banned if I start talking like that. But the regular United States government, China can go toe for toe. Anything, the import-export game, China have that on lock. Everything bought and sold throughout the world is made by China. We know this. China is spreading like wildfire. All of this is affecting indirectly and directly to the United States government. And then you have smaller countries that is partnering up with China as their allies, which is making the U.S. weaker. Because now smaller countries years ago had the number one powerhouse was USA. Now other smaller countries can partner up with China and they know they will be protected because the United States is not going to go toe for toe with China. They'd be crazy. So again, it's a shift which affects the economy of the United States, despite what politicians will tell you. Just look what's around you. Google it. Pay attention to the economy of the United States, the society, the shift is already here. And also, if you listen to other analysts, business analysts worldwide, because again, I'm not an analyst, just a regular guy. But if you listen to the business analysts in the US as well as worldwide, they'll tell you, and they systematically will break down the fall of the United States of America. And there's signs. You know, you can see signs. And just like any other great nation, when you see uprising from within, that's prophecy. All your great empires of the past, whether it was Egypt, Greece, Rome, France, England, Russia, Germany, they was all powerhouses in their day. And they all fell the same way when it started becoming an uprising within the country. Economy got weaker, people got weaker, more of killing, fighting, disorderly conduct, growing. Countries fell. It's no different from the USA. And that in the US currency is falling. It's getting weak. It's only a matter of time that it's going to be a full-fledged collapse. In theory, the dollar is not backed up by nothing. It's just paper. Just in case y'all guys might not know that. Years ago, half a century ago, it was backed up by the gold standard. Now, it's backed up by nothing. So if you invest all of that, have money in the bank, let's say, and if it was a state of emergency in the USA, even though they say you can reclaim your money up to a certain amount, but let's be for real. If it is a real state of emergency and banks shut down, your local city bank closes, it's no different than any other so-called third world country in South America. You'll be rationed where you will be allowed to get all your money out. Just like it'd be a food ration, it'd be a money ration with the banks, with your money. That's something for you to think about. And that's not something to go even ahead of the topic. Even citizens in their own country, you should always have an escape plan or understanding where you invest your money in banks. If something goes down, your money could be frozen. Nothing you can do. So you best to have other options where you can survive. Money's invested in different types of platforms. You might need to purchase gold, silver bars, have property if you can, land. Because land could be bought and sold, or you can use it to grow and live on. If not, then you might have to think about smaller stuff. Have collectibles. Collectibles where certain times you might trade. You might have to go back to the basics of Little House on the Prairie and trade with your collectibles. Learn, because I understand money is tough. You can't actually spend $2,000 and get yourself a half ounce of gold. A couple of $1,000, that's not in your budget. I get it. Silver you can. $30-$40 you can buy an ounce of silver. That's just an example. So prepare. Think of the days of how the settlers lived, how your ancestors lived, trade. I have butter, you have potatoes. Trade. This is what you're going to have to start thinking. Just don't necessarily think you can go to your closest Walmart and then pick up something, because that might be shut down. You never know, especially in the future with this post-pandemic. New laws going to be implemented, and there will be restrictions. We don't know everything yet, what type of restrictions, but there will be. Because anytime you have a pandemic, you're always going to have, throughout history, new rules and regulations. This is no different, so pay attention. But back to the fall of the USA, you could just see it within countries becoming more independent. Like El Salvador, they making Bitcoin their legal tender. And this might not be significant for you, but my point is that smaller countries is planning, and they're not relying on the USA like they used to. So anytime you have that, that's a sign of the fall of the country, because countries are becoming independent. They know what will be the outcome eventually with the USA. So they planning accordingly so they can survive as a country. The question is, what are you going to do, especially you living in the USA, that which is really the epic center of what's going to happen. So people in the USA is going to feel it first and the hardest. And then it will be a domino effect with people living in different countries worldwide, from Canada to Europe and so forth. So that's just how that will be. When the United States get pneumonia, other countries still going to catch a cold from it. They're still going to get sick. So again, it's preparation and having an understanding. And anytime you have, again, and citizens, especially in the United States, pay really attention to your surroundings. You can see the fall. More and more violence. The mental illness, which I'm gonna touch on a different show, but the mental illness of the citizens is dropping. Is becoming worse. I mean, you find that I'm reading articles in the big cities in the United States, especially New York. Let's just use that as an example. And all your New Yorkers can understand this. More crimes is becoming more prevalent even in the daytime. Now, we know there's certain, always New York City has things going on because it's a big city, and that's any city. But you can feel the difference. And that's all for all my New Yorkers there. It's a difference. It's more grimier, more cutthroat. And, people, just an article where there was robberies in like 5 different boroughs in a 3-hour radius. It seemed like simultaneously. But that's just an example. All my New Yorkers can understand. But in big cities, that's just what's happening. It's just the mental illness is rampant. And that's not only the United States per se. You can get that in Canada or in Europe. It's just an energy. But we just specifically saying the fall of America. So it is sign of the times. Countries is not looking at the United States as their savior. They looking at the United States as basically it's only a matter of time of their collapse. So my question to y'all guys is, what you gonna do? How are you preparing for this? What proper measures you are trying to take to protect yourself and your loved ones? Business analysts is telling you all the time about what will happen. Are your guys going to wait to the last minute? Or are you going to put certain things in place now? And I know your guys say, well, money is tight, and, things is tight, I don't know what to do. There's always loopholes for everything. One, it's not running to the store necessarily and getting 3,000 bags of toilet tissue and all of that stuff. No. Because you have to gear to the place where you reside. How big is your space? And, I get it. Things got to make sense. But you can prepare with little things. For example, I'm just going to use the basics, and you heard this before, water. Storing certain amounts of water. From the stores, the dollar store, you can store water. Things like that. Have a plan. What if the foods you can't get, the supermarket's closed for a week? What would you do? How are you going to prepare? If you're driving, suppose gas stations closed down for a week. Do you have stored gasoline that you can put away without not killing yourself, of course, causing an explosion? Example. If it's a blackout, do you have enough candles? Do you have enough batteries? Now, all y'all New Yorkers know, we had blackouts, early 2000s and so forth, even before that. But that's not only New York. It could be anywhere in America. You got to pay attention to those things. You just can't be just thinking, well, I'll wait until that time comes. Because that time could come so fast and sneak up on you, and then you're not prepared. So if you can afford $5 a week or $5, $10 every 2 weeks, then pick up certain things. Flashlights, lights, candles, perishable foods from the Army Navy stores that you can purchase online or wherever you can find in your local city or state. Certain things you can at least prepare. Don't have to go too crazy, but just prepare. Because it can happen. Have another option. Suppose something goes down with your place of residence. Do you have another place a family member that you can bond with, stay, and work together? These are basic things. You got to think that way, because your US of A is falling, and fast. And this pandemic, this post-pandemic, is really just the beginning. or the middle, or the end. Depends of your perspective. So stay strong and think about it. Thank you for listening.